Disney parks and experiences. Visual effects designers are artists and video integrators who partner with multiple disciplines within Walt Disney Imagineering. Highly experienced in design, conceptualizing, illustration, animation, and pre-visualization. They create and integrate media for all parks and attractions, resort hotels, and cruise lines, and then seamlessly align with media production to integrate their work into various products and experiences. Meghan Short, get on out here, Meghan. There she is. She's gonna scare me. Is a senior media producer at Walt Disney Imagineering. She joined the company in 2015, working on projects like Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, Millennium Falcon's Mockups Run, and Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. Yes. Meghan is responsible for guiding the production process of film and visual media in Disney attractions and resorts. She provides technical and procedural knowledge to execute on the creative vision and leads media integration from concept through installation. She began her work in the industry as a feature films visual effects coordinator. She moved into CG animation, production management on The Simpsons, before starting her first project with Walt Disney Imagineering, the Iron Man experience at Hong Kong Disneyland. She's currently pursuing a Master of Science in Integrated Design, Business, and Technology at USC. Thank you for being here, Meghan. And we have Blaine Kennison. Blaine is the principal VFX designer at Walt Disney Imagineering. He joined the division in 2015, working on projects such as Frozen Ever After, Avatar Flight of Passage, Ant-Man and the Wasp Nano Battle, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway at both resorts, and Zootopia Hot Pursuit at Shanghai Disneyland Park. He began his career in media after changing paths from a degree in aerospace engineering, fancy, to the entertainment industry as it shifted from film to digital. His eye for color and detail was honed over years of work on live action and animated films, such as a compositor lead and a visual effects supervisor, and he has led teams of artists doing the media design, media creation, and installation stages on several movies, attractions, and experiences. Welcome. So, to kick us off, we'd love to hear how you got your start at Imagineering.
Thank you guys, I'm so excited to be here today. I love this event and I love getting to talk to everybody about what we do. Like Sarah mentioned, I started in animation in school, so I wanted to be an animator. I saw Nemo in the theaters and I was like, that's what I'm doing for the rest of my life. And then I found out I'm really bad at animating. So once I was done with that, the passion was still there and I had all this knowledge and I translated it into producing for films and animation and VFX. And then eventually one of my old peers had a project that they needed some help on and brought me in, and that's how I got here on the Iron Man experience in Hong Kong.
And me, as she said, I'm a nerd, and I was at UCLA studying aerospace engineering, and once I got done, in order to continue in engineering, you would have to continue your education. That was a little bit much for me. After 5 years, I was kind of done, and I actually started working at feature animation way back in the day on Aladdin, and that was my digital career. Then I started doing all of this stuff for movies and animated movies, so I ended up back at Disney Animation later on in my career, and I was on Frozen, Big Hero 6, Zootopia, and Moana, coming over to Imagineering. And the first project that I worked on at Imagineering was the Frozen Ever After ride. So I've also, my last project was Zootopia Land and the ride, Zootopia Hot Pursuit in Shanghai. So you see how your career can come full circle. That's me.
You guys can speak to this super well based on your past experiences. How is media production at Imagineering different than other forms of media or other places?
Well, Blaine and I, when we were prepping for this, we talked a lot about this question, how is it different? And the biggest thing is when you're designing for a movie or a TV show, that frame is where it lives. That's the end of where your content delivery is. But in attraction, it's all around you, all in time, all real time. So you have to take all of that into account when you're designing for these media elements. It's not just the final cut that you're watching in the theater.
lot of times we work with vendors, we do some of the media ourselves, but part of what we do is called installation. So we may be working on media for years in advance. And once you get to this, the attraction and it's been built and you're allowed on the floor and you're trying to get ready for the ride, that's what we call installation. Now we have to put that media on the walls, on monitors, whatever surface that we're trying to put it onto. And that's when we have to blend it with the lighting, like the lighting in this room. We have to make sure everything looks good all together, and that's the fun part for me.
It's like here, wait, a giant villain's outside your window about to attack you, but you're also having to deal with a special effects illusion here. You've got our beloved characters calling in and talking to you, so you have to think way outside of the frame. And maybe that frame's on the ceiling, and maybe that frame is shaped like a contact lens. So you have to take all of that into account when you're designing.
So you taught me about an interesting thing that you consider in your work, which is moving eye point. Can you explain that for our audience today?
Sure. So, moving eye point is like when you see how we're pushing him across the floor here. When we're doing our mock-ups and our design, we have to think about how the media looks like from the guest point. Again, when we're working on movies and animation, we're just worried about what it looks like on the screen. I mean, there may be some multi-planing and things like that, but we actually have to make sure that what we want them to see is where we want them to see as the attraction moves through the building. And so we use lots of different techniques to study animation, do mock-ups where we can see how the ride vehicles, we have simulated screens and things where we look at the media all along the way in various stages so that we can understand if the motion for those cars, for those roller coasters, whatever we happen to be using, looks good. So.
And one of my favorite, I love moving eye point, I could talk about it for hours. But one of my favorite parts of it is going out of our digital testing that we're doing to in the attraction. And sometimes you have these really fun moments where we're in the attraction, we're putting media in the attraction, but we can't put bottoms in chairs yet because we're not past certain checkpoints. So what we do sometimes is we'll make a chair and we'll push each other in the chair and we'll try and see how well this works and how well it holds up. And sometimes you can put a big explosion over things if they're not really working that well. So this is one of my favorite scenes in Rise, and we test it a lot, and you just never know what it's going to look like once you're in the space in real time, and how our bodies react to movement is all different. So you just got to roll with it as you go.
So another huge part of your work are live action shoots with the incredible actors that portray beloved
This is not that slide.
This is not that slide. We have more stuff to show you. We got too much good stuff. But yeah, so you do live action shoots for various attractions, and I'm just curious how that works.
Oh, there we go. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry, I skipped over this one for you.
My fault. So we are building stories in worlds and with characters that we love, and we have to bring those characters into our attractions to meet that story authenticity. And so a lot of that is working with our partners to capture those moments when they're in character. That's so important. We were really lucky to get to be a part of Guardians Galaxy's, oh my gosh, wow, I'm combining. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 when they were filming. When a character is in character, that's when you want to be with them. And we were lucky to get to be there when they were all together with each other, performing with each other, not bringing them back together years later or reassembling everybody. I forgot to
Join the first order.
sometimes we're in our own things. So look, Imagineers, not just media Imagineers on the whole team are such a big part of it, and we try to, when we need extra help, put ourselves into those little places. So
Does that mean you're in Rise of the Resistance?
if you look on the left, I have my moment, and next to me is Gate, who is our amazing show designer, and we die about 3 seconds later. But that's okay. So we do, we do what we need to do.
Every single time I'm on Rise of the Resistance, I'm like,
It's really funny. I was going through Avatar Flight of Passage, and I was in the queue. And you're going through, and there's a monitor, and it has certain avatars, and it has the people that the avatars were made from. And then you're looking, and I'm like, I know these people. These are all Imagineers and other people that work.
Initials, birthday.
What's this about?
Well, we thought it'd be really fun to leave you with some of our favorite fun facts or fun like Easter eggs about things. So this is from one of our Star Tours adventure modules. This is when we go to Crate. And if you see all the salt that are on the red salt that's on the windshield, we ended up filming crushed up Jolly Ranchers to make that effect. So that is a practical effect on your screen, and then we windshield wipe it away, and you get to keep seeing what you're seeing.
And, you know, we have fun. We work many, many hours. We look at things over and over and over again. And as we're looking at stuff, we have to think, where can we add hidden Mickeys? And so, when you're looking at this, what's the obvious place where you can put a Mickey? Something that's not super obvious? Well, all I will say is, the next time you go on Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, take a look at the palm trees. I didn't show you here, but why don't you go take a look and see if you can find some Mickey? And there was one spot, if you remember that, it's the pond. There we go. And
Yeah, there's somebody Mickey in here.
so, oh, there you go. Wow, that was quick. Well, it doesn't have to play. But yeah, so, you know, we look at this for a long time, and we're like, oh, where would be a good place to put a Mickey in lily pads, right? Or sometimes we have characters do little sneak appearances, and I see Krabby there. So that's the fun part. It's like, it doesn't necessarily have that design to begin with, but we get to add our little special flavor of stuff every once in a while.
Am I right? Krabby appears throughout the attraction?
Oh yeah, so that was a mistake. I was working late at night one night, and I actually did something in the scene which was wrong. And the director and everybody saw that. They're like, oh, that's really cool. We should have that character in every scene. Well, I didn't know what I did, because then there's a whole second effort of adding Krabby to like every single scene.
My producer soul is
Again, if you
dying
go
right now.
every single scene, he's in it somewhere. You just have to find where.
Everyone's going to be heading into the parks and we're trying to count every scene. Thank you guys so much for sharing your work with us. You have unusual paths to Imagineering, which I think makes you most suitable to advise anybody in the audience who might be interested in getting into media production or media effects. What advice would you give them?
It took me a while to realize this, but we should not be afraid of letting our dreams change. I was so worried that the thing I was pursuing was something I actually didn't have a whole lot of talent in, that it kept me from pursuing the passion and the talent where they merged for a while. And once I figured that out, that's the road that led me to where I am today. Instead of this very narrow, straight, this is what I want to do, this is how it's done, I found that mix of passion and talent and pursued that and let the dream evolve. And I'm so thankful that I figured it out, but it took me a while.
And I mirrored that same thing. You know, I was an engineer. Obviously, all the things that I liked about being an engineer, I like problem solving. I like math. I like figuring things out. Well, after working in movies for a long time, that started to get a little bit old and kind of the same, working on shots all the time. Coming to Imagineering, what you've seen is that people have this passion to problem solve in whatever attraction. And there's all kinds of different tricks that we have to use to get our point across and show the magic to you guys. And I'm so happy that, again, engineering was a dead end for me, but here I'm kind of doing engineering again, and I love it. So I would say follow your passions, because we're a very diverse group. We have